Newsfirst, NEWSLINE with Hapuarachchi.
A very good morning to you. You are watching the NEWSLINE program. This is a recorded version of the program. Mr. Hapuarachchi could not be here with us today. Do not worry, I will keep you company for half an hour. We have a very senior politician of our country here with us in the studio this morning. A party with a lot of history in Sri Lanka, a gentleman with a lot of political history in Sri Lanka. It's none other than Professor Tissa. Professor, thank you for being here with us, Professor Tissa Vitarana. As I said, he's a gentleman with a long history in the political arena of our country, from a very senior political party as well. Again, sir, thank you very much for agreeing to be here with us. And let me get to the point straight away. As you envisaged, the government has changed. Government led by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa is in place. A caretaker cabinet is in place. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has taken office. A lot has happened. But the main concern of the people is, and will be for some time, at least until the general election, is where is this country heading? We see a lot of things happening. We see areas being beautified, youth taking initiative and painting walls. We see tax cuts. Where is the country going? Is this sustainable? Is my first question to you, sir.
It's a very important question that you are raising, because we have to face reality. Our country is in deep debt. For instance, we have to, in the course of this year itself, repay a debt of 5,000 billion US dollars. Now, that amount probably for the next 3-4 years will be the same, if may even increase. So we are faced with that type of situation. Then the policies which have been carried out by the previous government especially has been one in which the process whereby we could meet this situation, that is by having rapid socio-economic development, has really been turned downwards. To give you an example, during the time of the previous government, which I was a member of, the normal growth rate, annual growth rate increase was in the region minimum 6%, maximum 8%. Now it has come down to 2%. So now in that situation, what has happened? Then you must alter the policies which have led us into debt, this situation of debt. What has led us into that? Our adverse foreign trade balance. Now the adverse foreign trade balance is, to put it simply, a result of wrong policies with regard to our imports and exports.
Yes.
The income that we earn through our exports, right, only meets half the cost of our imports. So we are not prepared to take any steps to bring down those import costs. For instance, luxury cars are being brought in, right? Luxury lifestyles are being pursued. All the gadgets, everything that people have in America, people here are getting, right? I'm not against them eventually getting.
Sure.
We have to build up our economy to that point.
Obviously.
And then from there, we have to make sure that we don't become a dependent economy. Now, even where food is concerned, during the time of the last government, rice, half our rice requirement was being imported. Earlier, we were self-sufficient. So these wrong policies have led us into a situation where our adverse balance of trade has got worse, right? We have got deeper into debt as a result, and we are really caught in a debt trap. Then we go and get aid from the IMF and World Bank. Now they are working in concert with America and the powerful countries of what we call the imperialist countries like Britain, France, Germany, Japan and so on. And what is their intention? Their economies are also going down. Like the 1933 depression, 2008 there was a severe economic crisis. Now it is predicted that next year there will be even a worse crisis. So their economies are also coming down.
Right.
So they have now resorted to what is called the policy of neoliberalism, which is a means of directly exploiting our countries to for their gain, to our disadvantage.
Right.
Make use of our resources, make use of our cheaper labor, make use of our markets even, and get money to go abroad. So we had said no foreigner can own land here.
Yeah.
Now that has been knocked off. We had said that the capital account must be kept close so that profits are not sent abroad. Now that also has been relaxed. So in this situation, those rich country multinational corporations have the money to come and buy up everything, including say utilities. Now for instance, if you take water resources, my friend Vasudeva Nanayakar is the minister in charge, right? But he has a desperate struggle ahead of him because those an American company was going to be given the ownership of the water resources board. Then our poor people, farmers would have had to pay for the money that they get for agriculture to that company. People having their own wells would have had to pay a monthly fee to get water from their own well, you see. So now that situation has been averted by defeating the government and Gota winning. Right?
But is that...
But from that point onwards, we have to develop our say economy. We have to make use of raw materials, right? Have high value addition, high-tech inputs, because our products must be competitive in the market. And for that, high-tech, good quality, cheaper products are needed to compete.
Professor, but is that the accurate picture to paint when we say, okay, the former government did these things, but now since Gotabaya Rajapaksa has assumed office as the president, now things will turn out to be, we do not know what will happen to the MCC compact. You were very vociferous against the MCC, as well as several members of your party along with the movement that you represent. We do not know what will happen to the MCC. We do not know what will happen to other international agreements that have been reached with other countries in the region that you all claimed to be adverse to the country. Since Gotabaya Rajapaksa assumed office, is there that change that you speak of?
No, definitely a policy decision has been taken that all agreements signed by the previous government will be reviewed. Right. So now that process is going on. Then if any conditions have been agreed to which are going to be harmful to our country, our people, our economy, then those will be excluded. Right. And already the president has clearly indicated that he is going to respect the sovereignty of our land. He is going to respect our independence and make sure that we don't become a dependent economy. Right. So according to that, if there is anything that is going to be beneficial, even through the MCC, let us have it. But get rid of what is harmful.
Professor, let's talk for a bit about the optics that is involved. Now we are people from the media, and this is general public watching. They're not. They follow politics very closely, but they might not be aware of the optics that is being carried out. Now we hear the president going to India during his tour in India, the first official state visit, speaking to Indian journalists, speaking about the Chinese matter and saying we will renegotiate the Hambantota port deal. Then we see Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa attending an event organized by the Chinese to hand over the land to Sri Lanka, or declare that part of the port city for investment. Now, this doesn't look really right. Or is that what they are trying to portray, this government? Okay, the president is with India, the Prime Minister is with China, the cabinet minister is with someone else. Is that what you all are trying to portray? What is going on?
Look here, I don't think it's fair to say that this new government which has come in is going to play a double game. Right? We saw that during the last government.
Right.
Right? Prime Minister was saying one thing, the President was saying something else. Here, the Prime Minister and President are not only members of the same party or aligned to the same parties, they are also brothers. Right? They work together and act together and agree on the same policies. So there will be no problem in that way. Then the important thing is that where say China was concerned, I was in the earlier cabinet.
Yes, you were.
Where the decision was taken on those two matters. One is Hambantota, only a 33-year lease, nothing more. Right? Now the UNP government, right, poo-pooed China, we can do without your money, right, made them look fools, right, and said, we don't have to worry, America is with us, we will be well off, right, and treated them like dogs, really, people who were helping us. And naturally, in that situation, they reacted adversely. Right? And they insisted on their pound of flesh, if I put it that way.
Yep.
So now we have to reverse that process. So the person who is doing that is Mahinda Rajapaksa as the political leader of this port party and alliance. So that is something that has to be done. Right.
Right.
Then on the other side, the port city, right? Now that was the whole idea, was to make Sri Lanka a economic hub, right? And you know that we all know Singapore did everything possible to prevent that happening.
Right.
Because Singapore's superior position would have been threatened by Hambantota. Right, by the port city, right? So they wanted to prevent that. In other words, China coming in the Belt and Silk Road Initiative. We were supportive of that, right? Now, in this port city project, right, we are reclaiming land. That is being done by the Chinese, okay? And they are spending a tremendous amount of money to work out a complete project which will lead to us becoming an economic hub for the whole region. And we are close to the shipping route, right? Ships will come to us. We will profit. So all that advantage is there. Now, the land that is being reclaimed, the Chinese say, okay, we will bear the expenses, but a part of it must be given to us so that we also can, we are coming for trade. We want to set up our trading mechanisms here. We want a portion of that land, to use a portion of that land. So the agreement was made that will be given.
Sure.
So that is going on as part of a whole process, right? So that process would never have taken off unless something like that was given.
Right.
Right? We would have been not developing.
Right.
Let us develop. Pay a small price for it.
Yeah.
Right? But go ahead.
But
That
then,
will be
but then the same theory would have applied to Ranil Wickremesinghe when he gave out the Hambantota report. We made a sacrifice, obviously, when giving the Hambantota report to the Chinese, and
unnecessarily, he gave them complete ownership. Then when we went and protested in Hambantota and various places, he said, okay, no sale, 99-year lease with provision for another 99 years, 200 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a sale.
That's yeah.
So that is all bogus, you see. And we are now negotiating, and I'm hoping that a person with the dexterity and ability of Mahinda Rajapaksa, right, will be able to, because the Chinese are very favorably disposed to him. He has had good relations with them.
Yeah.
He has not, unlike the UNP, scolded them and made them look fools, right, and said, we don't need you, right. He has said, we need you.
Right.
We want to work with you. You are a developing country. You have come up. The East is coming up. Not only China, India is also coming up.
Yeah.
Vietnam, Philippines, Malaysia, Korea, all are coming up. We want to be part of that process.
Right.
Right? Which is the correct policy. Right? But here this UNP was saying, look to the West.
Right.
We will tie ourselves to the West that is crumbling.
Right,
What's the use of that?
Professor, you bring us to a very interesting point. Now, yes, we understand the theory that you're bringing to the table. If you apply that same theory again back here at home to the government that you represent and the current government that is operating, the parliament is in proroguement right now. The parliament has been prorogued. We do not know, again, we do not know who the opposition leader will be. We are aware of what is going to happen, but that has not been announced officially. The acts and the bills that have to be brought to parliament have been held. Yes, a throne speech was necessary, that is part of the tradition, but was that necessary right now at this juncture when there was a government change at the end of the year?
Right. Well, that of course, I mean, you can have different points of view, but I don't think that's a critical point.
Right.
You see, because whatever it is, there is a change of direction.
Right.
And the throne speech enables what I see as the new government, which is going to take power eventually following the general election, being able to tell the people in advance, this is what we are going to do for you, right? And that will be a good indication for them to use their vote with the future in mind. So I see nothing wrong with that. Let us not quibble over small things, right? We must have clear-cut national development policies. We must have a national economy which serves our country and our people.
Yeah.
And that must be something which does not make us subservient to any big powers. Even China.
Right.
We must be at the same level with them, right? And we must retain our economic independence, our political independence. That is what we should aim.
Professor, you were given a responsibility recently under the new government. You have been appointed Governor of the North Central Province. You were making comments on the media, you were making statements that you were about to receive it, and now we know that you have been sworn in as the Governor of the North Central Province. First of all, congratulations from my part.
Okay, thank you.
But, Professor, again, coming to this problem, now the cabinet has been appointed. You were a very senior member, and we cannot leave that aside. We know what you have done over the past few years. We know your political history. Is the governorship enough?
No, certainly my party doesn't think so, and I also don't think so, because at the time that I accepted this, I had to get the approval of my party.
Sure.
The Politburo met and they said, okay, we agree to that conditionally, in the sense that we, as a part of the alliance, have contributed to forming the policy of the alliance. we have had our inputs. We, in fact, put forward 30 proposals.
Right.
And several of them have been incorporated. Then we must be in a position to make sure that they are being implemented. For that, I should be a member of parliament
Sure.
and a member of the cabinet. Right?
Correct.
So, at the end of this period, right, when the elections come due, right, party has said, we want that done.
Yeah.
Right? So, I will cease to be governor and hopefully I will be a nationalist member of parliament who will be included in the cabinet. If that is done, I will tell them, the country and the people and the others who are with us in the alliance, that sincerely I have always contributed through the Vidata program where SMEs right around the country, 12,000 entrepreneurs came up.
Yeah.
Over 200 are exporting their products. Others are going into the various food chains and etc. The hotel chains. Now, in addition, high-tech center, Syntech was developed by me.
Yes.
So that our raw materials, we can introduce advanced technology so that our products can compete in the market, both local and abroad.
Right.
And price-wise, quality-wise.
Right.
Because unless we go for high-tech, we can't achieve that.
Right.
So those policies I have already started, and I'm sure now the president is a technology-oriented person.
Right.
He values technology.
Sure.
He will, I'm sure, take this whole process forward, right? And I will give him maximum support to help have maximum income for the country through value addition using high-tech to our raw materials. We are losing out. I'll give you one example. I don't know how much time we have. You see, say our graphite. We are weighing graphite.
Yeah.
Best in the world. When I went to the European Union and met the Minister of Science and Technology, she said, we are investing billion euros to develop graphene products. So I said, graphene comes out of graphite. Where are you getting the graphene from?
Yeah.
Away from Sri Lanka. Now, she is going to produce graphene, which is 100 times, several hundred times more valuable than graphite, which we have, right? Using our graphite.
Right.
They gain from that.
Yeah.
So I have already, through Syntech, got the research done. They have been doing it after I left also.
Right.
And to produce our own graphene. Then we get that extra income.
Sure.
So that is the journey that we have to go in all fields.
Professor, again, you keep proving my point, Professor. This is exactly what I'm trying to ask you now. I'm not going to mention any names, but we know in the 15-member cabinet right now, there are very junior politicians when it comes to the parliamentary level. We know we can think of one at least very prominently. Your political career is longer than my lifespan. But no, you have plans. We know what you have been doing. I have been reading up on the research that you have been doing. Again, people like you are a professor, qualified individual, highly educated, but you're out and you're doing a governorship. I'm not saying that the governorship is bad. That is not what I'm saying. But that comes with a set of responsibilities. But the cabinet ministry comes with another set of responsibilities. Maybe you can do more.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you on that. So that is up to the president and the prime minister.
Right.
I'm sure they will use good judgment in the future.
Right. Again, Professor, now interestingly, we are at the final 2 minutes, so I'm going to quickly rush us through to this point as well. The opposition leadership. leadership. Now, we know that the Speaker has announced that it will be given to Sajith Premadasa. We have to talk about the United National Party, otherwise the Parliament itself is in this problem. Now, we know there is a faction supporting leader Ranil Wickremesinghe, there is a faction supporting Sajith Premadasa, but again, democracy is at stake, because if there is no opposition, there is no parliament, there is no democracy in this country. Now, as a politician who know these individuals personally, you have been doing politics with all of these people, what is your message to the UNP? Get this over with soon? Give it to Ranil? What is your message?
No, that's an internal matter for the UNP to decide on, because it's not only a question of having someone in parliament.
Sure.
You have to have a party also which backs that person and the politicians in parliament. Now, you have to have effective opposition.
Sure.
And a good leader of the opposition would find the shortcomings, the faults in the government's program, highlight them, make them amended.
Sure.
To benefit the country, and that is the role of the opposition. As to who will be the best person, that's a matter for the UNP to decide. I don't want to take on that responsibility, because I don't agree with their policies to begin with, and it is up to them to decide. So I hope they will decide wisely, considering the interests of the country, not just the question of adjusting their policies in a way I find very surprising, for them to say we lost because we were not for this or we were against that, right? Therefore, we must change, and if they are a principal party, they took those positions because those were their policies.
Definitely.
Then they must have a serious discussion and say, okay, our policies are wrong. Then we must change our policies.
Sure.
Right? And then act accordingly. I don't see that happening. But I hope that there will be an effective opposition, that the country will go ahead. And it's a very difficult situation we are faced with.
Sure.
And we will have to make sacrifices. I hope the rich people also will be made to make those sacrifices which the poor people have been making. Because the poor people have been given some relief, but unnecessarily the rich people also have been given relief, when they should have been made to contribute something to development. Right? Let us hope that sensible policies will prevail and that we will forge ahead as a country.
All right, thank you, Professor Governor Tissa Vitarna, for joining us this morning and talking to us. Candid views indeed, and it has been an interesting chat with you this morning. Again, we will be joining you tomorrow as well, same time, with an interesting guest to talk to you about the current political trends, to keep you updated about the current affairs of our country. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.
News First, Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.